Good evening, soldiers. I hope everyone's been having a good weekend. I myself have been enjoying some R&R. Actually had my first... Actually, I'm having my first paid vacay week of the year, finally. Woo! And yeah, I did a bit of redecorating here. Yeah, I decided rather than the headache of trying to take down the tarp whenever I need to film for YouTube or TikTok stuff, I'll just simply have the posters over it and then remove the posters when I need to film stuff. So there's that. But again, hope everyone's been having a good weekend, and tonight we're going to be going back to the war. Okay. Yeah. Yes, I did get shore leave, Otter. I did. And since I do have this week off starting today, I may do an extra stream or two. I mean, I have the time to do so, especially if I reach that magical 25 follower goal this week. That would be really good because, well, it would be fun to have an extra stream where I get to actually do that little thing I have for my follower goal, but we'll see. Plus, it'll be nice to have an extra stream during the day for some of my followers on Discord who can't make it at this time of night. Doubt it'll be a cooking stream, though, because I don't know how to cook very many things. So I'll have to come up with something else. Plus, if I did cooking, then Cosmo would accuse me of ripping her off. Which I would never do. I mean, for one thing, look at me. You think I could pull off those pants? But anyway, I digress. Let's get back to the war. Yeah. Although, honestly, from what I've seen of Bella seems like a piece of cake compared to my parents' dogs. I mean, I never saw Bella militantly going in the house and giving Cosmo shit over it. That would be my parents' toy poodle. Bella's not that bad from what I've seen. Just more typical naughty dog stuff like, no, you cannot have this to eat. But anyway, where we were at, well, we finished in North Africa, and we're about to start the next major campaign in this game. Yes, indeed. What's even better, Otter? Their other dog is a Weimaraner who is the most neurotic dog I have ever known. Yeah. And since the toy poodle came first and is the smarter dog of the two, he's the alpha. Which is great. But anyway, so yeah, we're about to start a new Operation Husky, so basically we've kicked the access out of North Africa. Us and the British coming in from Algeria, Morocco, into Tunisia, and the British 8th Army that had beaten Rommel. Hello, One Pro. Nice to see you here tonight. Alright, soldier. But so yeah. At ease. So yeah. They're coming in from Algeria, Morocco, into Tunisia. Meanwhile, the British Eighth Army, which really was more accurately the British Empire Eighth Army because there were a lot of colonial troops in it, is coming from Egypt after kicking Rommel's ass earlier at El Alamein. Basically sandwiched him in Tunisia, and right before it's all over in Tunisia, Rommel falls ill and he's ordered back to Germany by Hitler. And while he's undergoing medical care in Germany, his forces are forced to surrender in Tunisia. Over 250,000 Axis soldiers surrender, actually. It's one of the many things that makes late 42, early 43 more or less the turning point in the war. From this moment on, the Germans are no longer attacking, but are basically fighting desperately in defense. And now we're setting our eyes on Italy, because with the North African campaign being over, Italy is in a much more vulnerable position now. The weaknesses of its army are even more apparent now. And there's pressure to oust Mussolini, because he brought into Italy into the war, promising them glory. I will rebuild the Roman Empire. But that ended up not happening. So that leads us to July of 43. Us and the Brits are about to invade Sicily. And let's see how that goes. Hey, Bear. Oh, fitting, Otter. Hey, Bear. Welcome to the stream. I'll try to make it entertaining for you. That's a shame. Wonder if that's something that can only happen if I get affiliated, getting raided. Oh well. Yep. Oh well. That'll be something to look forward to in the future then. But yeah, Otter, One Pro, say hello to Bear. He's Oh, thank you, Teddy. Yep. Oh yeah, and One Pro Otter, say hello to Bear here. He's another recent convert to my cause here on Twitch. Yep. So yeah. So yeah, Bear, like I was telling these guys, we're continuing Call of Duty 2 Big Red 1. It's World War II themed, and last time we finished the North African campaign part of it, and now we're about to invade Sicily. And this is the summer of 1943. Basically, the war has turned against the Germans and their allies, and in favor of the Allied powers, us, the British, so on. And this is going to be a very interesting thing, because this game, you only play a single character throughout, a member of the U.S. 1st Infantry Division, which basically saw the entire war in Europe in terms of American involvement, from the first fights in North Africa all the way to the end in 45. And this was their second major campaign, was the invasion of Sicily. And we'll see how that goes. Yep. Ah yes, Jayla. Little port city that was assigned to the 1st Infantry Division for its attack. Yep, July 10th. Yep, we're on a duck boat. Oh, come on. Alright, stop it, controller. Oh, come on. Yeah, this controller always messes with me every time I start. There we go. Oh. Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah, that's the thing I didn't mention last time. When we landed in North Africa, we didn't face armed resistance. It's on the beach. Which was very good for us because, well, we were barely trained at this point and didn't really know what we were getting into in fighting the Germans and their allies. After North Africa, we have a little more experience, but this is going to be the first real test for us. Actually landing opposed at a place. And it... Oh, you did, one pro? Ah, I see. No, come on. Okay. Yeah, I saw it, one pro. That's weird. Come on. Oh, come on, you silly thing. Okay. Okay. Well, that looks better. Does that look better to you guys? Yep, wonders of technology. Or as you guys like to say, streamer life. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. I got a little messed up like that. Oh well. Okay, back to the damn game. So yeah. So here we are. A post. Yep, gotta take out some damn mines. Yeah, we don't want to run into any of those mines. That would not be good. Oh, I missed one. Yeah, look at those feints. I would not want to run into those. There we go. Okay, I seem to have cleared enough mines. Yes, he does, Otter. He does have the eye. Okay.
Dismount! Move! 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 We need to take out those machine guns!
So yeah, there you go, guys. what tugboats were originally built for. Okay. Have some 30 cal. Okay. Of course, what helped us out in fighting a contested landing here? Ah, okay. But there's other... Oops, that's one of our guys. You saw nothing. But there was one thing about fighting a contested landing here at Jayla that worked in the favor of the American soldiers landing. As you can see here, it was mostly Italian soldiers defending. And by this point, the Italians just didn't have their hearts in the war anymore.
Terrific. I need a runner. Deadly, you just volunteered. Get your butt on the box screen and tell them we've established a pizza in here. Go! I'm on it! We need to clear that concertina wire. Get a Bangalore up there. Around. Damn it. Saunders, Blackburn, get up here. Suppress that MT nest in my mark. Ready? Now! Suppressing fire!
Okay. There we go.
Somebody grab that goddamn bazooka! We need to get off this beach now!
Well, I mean, yes, there's immersion therapy, Bear, but try not to go too out of control with it. Okay, I'm obviously aiming a little too low. There we go. Okay. Yeah, buongiorno, guys. Now, Otter, what would have been especially appropriate is if you had had something distinctly Sicilian tonight, like Sicilian-style pizza or something like that. That would have made it extra perfect. Yeah. Okay, that's good, Bear. Yeah, I'm gonna go all Rambo on ya! Never mind that in real life I shouldn't be hip firing with a big ass machine gun like this. Okay.
Brooklyn! Put a grenade through that window!
Come on, Brooklyn. Okay, so there's one pillbox taken out. Oh, shit. Oh, damn it! Reload! Ooh, you. There we go. Well, and these landings in Sicily did have a major effect on other fronts. When Hitler found out that the Allies had landed in Sicily, he actually ordered a major offensive that was going on in Russia to be halted. This was during the famous Battle of Kursk. Phasmophobia. Yeah, that's one I've been thinking of playing. I just haven't gotten around to it yet, and well, there are other things I already have planned for October. Phasmophobia, that would have to be something like, oh, if I still have more time to play other stuff. But yeah, like I was saying, Hitler finds out the Allies are invading Sicily. He orders the offensive at Kursk, which I don't know if any of you have heard of that battle. It was basically the most vicious and largest scale tank-on-tank engagement of the entire war. And and well, so much for the machine gun. Guess I'll have to deal with the Beretta here. Well, and that's definitely one way you can tell this Beretta was designed. Yeah. Well, that might... Well, well, I have to ask one pro. How much does Phasmophobia cost? Is it like actually free to play, or is it one of those things where it's like free to play? Also, is it just on PC? That's another thing to keep in mind. But that might be something to look at, like I said. But yeah, this machine gun I'm using, you can tell that, well, if you're any sort of weapons expert, that this was made some years before World War II happened, like in between World War I and World War II, because of the fact that, well, it has a lot of wooden parts to it, like wooden grip, wooden stock, and all that. And yes, you did read it right. It is Beretta, as in the contemporary gun manufacturer.
We're not going that way. You still have that comp B? Make us a door, would you?
Oh, dynamite time. Yes.
Everybody through!
Okay.
Machine guns! Up on the bridge! Brooklyn! Hop
Okay. Okay, see you later, Bear. Glad you could make it. Even for a little bit. Anytime, I might appreciate. Blinded them with smoke.
If you've got grenades, use them now!
Ah. Well. Well, I'll see. Well, Jinkies, I'll see you later, Bear. Yep, and so yeah, this attack at Kursk I was talking about, the Germans basically it was their last big attack of the war, or on the Eastern Front. It was their attempt to try to get back the momentum after Stalingrad, and they literally threw a whole bunch of tanks at the Russians, and the Russians had months to prepare, and so ended up building pretty much a massive line of fortifications around Kursk, and the battlefield itself was like 100 square miles. Ah. Okay, Bear. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, well, if you see Jazz, tell her I said hi.
The Italians from the east.
Okay, there we go. Yes, get health, get health, get health. So yeah, at Kursk, which again was like a battlefield about 100 square miles, Russians fortified the hell out of everything and basically had a big old tank versus tank slugging match with the Germans that really, the Germans ended up being defeated pretty quickly, and when Hitler heard news of the landings in Sicily, he ordered the attack at Kursk to stop, and tank forces to be sent to Italy, to basically bolster Italy, because, well, he knew very well that Mussolini was losing power in Italy, and if Mussolini was overthrown, that would provide the Allies a southern route to invade Germany, and, well, he couldn't abide by that. Yeah. Yeah, well... Yeah, well, if there's a reference I can do as a joke, Bear, I'm quick to do it. But yeah. And you may wonder why these Italian soldiers are... Yeah. I figured when I didn't see any announcements earlier. But yeah, you guys might be wondering why these Italian soldiers are wearing like pith helmets and short shorts and khakis and all that. They're basically wearing the tropical uniforms of Italian soldiers because again, this was an army that Mussolini had raised to rebuild the Roman Empire in the Mediterranean. But things didn't turn out that way. Yeah, I don't know how long. I don't know if you're still here, Bear. I don't know how long you've been, and on Jasmine, if you've ever been on Jasmine's Twitch, but uh-oh. Oh dear. Oof.
Jeez, it's a hell of a way to go. Poor bastards.
Yep. Indeed. But yeah, cause one thing I am missing from her Twitch was she started playing this really corny young teen romance game and all that, and we were having some fun with that because I was basically the one who kept rooting against the main cute guy and the character you play and all that. And some great reactions from Jazz from those streams, but it's been a while since she's played that game. Yep. Okay. And now you're wondering why I kept the bazooka? Here's why. There we go. I mean, I technically don't have to take out that tank, but... Yes, base of fire! There we go. Ha ha ha. Okay. Oh, damn it. There. There you go. Sorry. Okay.
You guys from Able Company?
No, Fox.
There's Lieutenant Delaney looking for you fellas. He's down the street that way.
Yep.
Sergeant, good to find you and your squad still in one piece. Hey, where's Parker?
Damn Italians got him.
Listen up, Parker. A glider from the 82nd crashed near a school at the north side of town. We think some of them may still be alive, but the area is hot with Italian infantry. I can't spare anyone, so I need
Okay, so
to get over there and do what you can.
I don't know how you could have survived crash landing on a flaming glider, but okay.
Follow me.
Yep. Already got an aid station set up. Yep, indeed, Otter, indeed. Uh-oh. Oh. Oh shit, mortars. Mortars.
You're dead if you don't keep moving, Private.
They keep moving. Oh, damn it. Goddamn mortars.
All right, let's make sure we get there before the Italians take us.
There! Sarge, look! Covering fire!
Okay, let's save some airborne guys. Okay. Yeah, damn. Damn, look at what's left of this glider. Whew. There we go.
Good to see you, Sergeant.
Oh, hello, Colonel.
Sir, Fox Company.
Well, you're a damn sight for sore eyes. We lost most of the stick in the crash. Only me
And yes, Otter, that was the 82nd Airborne they were referring to.
now, but it's only a matter of time before they regroup and counterattack.
They, as part of the invasion of Sicily, were dropped up to behind the lines, same time that the invasions began. And, well, it didn't go terribly well at first for them. Yeah, it won't. But yeah, I don't know. I know you're a big aviation person. How much do you know about airborne history, Otter? Because there's a little thing to share about that, but you might already know about the 82nd at Sicily. Come on. Okay. Alright, where are they coming from now? Ah, there they are. Ah, okay. Well, the 82nd Airborne Division, it was one of 3 American Airborne Divisions that saw action in the European theater. The 82nd had the longest experience during World War II. Their first large-scale operation was this invasion in Sicily. There was a big airdrop of them in Sicily. Yeah. Yep. Yep, rather flimsy things, those gliders, but they were silent, at least a lot more silent than roaring engine planes. But yeah, the 82nd, what happened with them, damn it, what happened with them during this invasion, there was actually a terrible mishap. One of the airborne units in the 82nd that was being dropped up for this operation. Unfortunately, a group of American naval ships saw the cargo planes transporting the paratroopers flying over them, and they had only recently been bombed by German planes. And the sailors on the ships panicked and opened fire. And it wasn't until a few minutes in that they got the word that no, these are our own airborne guys that you're shooting at in the sky. And I'll have to double check. I think it was something like 300 plus airborne guys who died as a result of that. I think it's the largest friendly fire incident that occurred during World War II. Again, and this is early on where we hadn't quite yet gotten things right in terms of what we're doing in fighting the war here. And also, well, airborne warfare itself was largely untested still. Oh, scared me.
Well, you're a damn sight for sore eyes. We lost most of the stick in the crash. Only me and a couple of others made it out. We managed to secure the area for now, but it's only a matter of...
Yeah, that's the thing about these airborne divisions in World War II. You have the choice of either being in one of those, I think they were called C-43 cargo planes, and jump out of them while being shot at, or be in a glider and run the risk of crash landing at like 90 miles an hour without really anything inside to cushion the impact, since those things were basically plywood and aluminum. There we go. There we go. Nice try. Damn. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes they had things go right for them. Like in D-Day, even though they were badly scattered across Normandy, that actually ended up being an unintended benefit for them because it confused the hell out of the Germans, because they were receiving reports of American paratroopers landing all over the place, and they couldn't really tell, okay, hey, are these false reports? Are they actually landing here, or are they not? Or are they landing here and we're just hearing that they're landing somewhere else? And then the British airborne forces had a major bit of luck on D-Day, where the glider troops who were supposed to seize the bridges over those two rivers guarding the approaches to... Alright, Sarge, alright. If they'll let me through. There we go. Oh, shit. Okay, that damn tank almost got me. Okay.
That's it. I think we're clear.
Okay, good. We've survived the swarm for now. But yeah, like the British airborne guys on D-Day who were landing in gliders to seize those two bridges, pretty much at the edge of the landing beaches. And it was probably the most successful glider-borne attack in the war, because they landed right on top of those bridges and managed to seize them pretty quickly. And were able to put up enough of a show of force for the Germans to panic and flee. Okay. So we've pushed back the Italians. Now let's see what else to do.
Thank you, boys. We can take it from here. I'm starting to see why the Big Red One has a reputation.
Thank you, sir. All right, Fox. Let's not keep the lieutenant waiting. Move out.
Indeed. So despite the mishaps, like the friendly fire on the airborne planes, the landings in Sicily did go off more or less as without a hitch, like the actual landings. Because, well, at this point the Italian army really just wasn't putting up much of a fight anymore. And to try to stiffen the defense of Sicily, Hitler had, I believe it was, had 2 German divisions sent to Sicily. One was a full Panzer division. The other, I think, was a Panzer Grenadier division, which really meant a motorized infantry division. And this Panzer division, it was formidable. It actually had equipped with it Tiger tanks and stuff like that. And this next part here, Piano Lupo, this German division actually did launch a big counterattack to try to drive the American forces back to the sea. Now, there's a little bit of fudging here because Piano Lupo is actually a little too far east on this map. Piano Lupo is actually just north of Gela. That's how close this counterattack was, but we'll see how we dealt with that.
That was brutal yesterday.
That was nothing. Let me tell you, one time back in Africa, found myself in front of an entire platoon of Frenchies. Took them all out by myself.
That story gets more ridiculous every time you tell it. You know that?
Hey, it's true. Hey, tell him it was true. You was there.
Yeah,
Hey, Hawk, tell him it's true.
Not now, Brooklyn. Orders just came down from Battalion CP. They need us to move up to Piano Lupo and reinforce a bunch of guys from the 82nd who've been holding out all night. There's not a lot of time. Aerial recon reports at least 1 division of Proud armor roll in from the north. I think it's the Hermann Goering division.
see, what'd I tell ya?
Said not now, Brooklyn.
Oh! There you go, Otter. Stuka attack.
Get in that half track and take out those Stukas!
Indeed, I will, Sarge. Sorry, Otter. Yep, it was. Oh, yes, it was a big fight. Okay. There you are. There we go. Huh. Yeah, go away, Stukas. Damn it. Where are you? Damn it. Okay, they took out our fuel dump and supply dump. Damn it. Goddamn Stukas. There you are. Ha ha ha. Yep. Well, those were supposed to be German Stukas that were attacking just now because, well, by this point, Hitler, in terms of reinforcing Italy with German soldiers, that included sending Luftwaffe units into Italy. And, well, mainland Italy isn't too far from Sicily in terms of planes. Planes from mainland Italy could easily attack Sicily. God damn it, you're trying to take out our artillery too? Come on! Okay. There you are. Okay. Where are they coming? Oh, I see ya. Okay. Oh. Oh, no, you don't. You are not taking out our artillery. Ha ha ha. Okay. I think that's it.
I don't see any more. We gotta meet up with Hawk.
Hey, Bear. Welcome back. Well, we've successfully landed in Sicily, but now we're dealing with a German Panzer Division counterattacking, trying to drive us back into the sea. And we just had to fight off a whole bunch of Stuka dive bombers that were trying to wipe out all of our behind-the-lines artillery and supplies.
There's a lot of open ground, so don't bunch up. Stay sharp. Move in.
Of course they armed me with the carbine. Yep. Oh yeah, it is. I have fond memories of this game, Bear. This was one of the games I grew up with. And like I said on Discord earlier, these old Call of Duty games were what got me interested in learning real World War II history. Yeah. Again, I wish they hadn't given me this carbine to fire. Because, yeah, it has 15 rounds, but I don't know if you can tell. These... Whoa! Yeah, these things had 15 rounds each, but the problem was the regular M1 rifles that our soldiers were having had bullets about that big. What I'm firing right now had bullets about that big. It really was not designed for frontline service. It was designed as like a gun for guys behind the lines who aren't normally expected to be fighting on the front lines to be armed with. But through administrative mix-ups, a lot of these low-powered carbines were given to frontline soldiers, and well, they weren't very well liked by the frontline soldiers because they didn't have much hitting power. Yeah, I'll just go with the bolt action here. Yep, the Italian Carcano rifle. Which had an interesting feature for a bolt-action rifle. Whereas a lot of bolt-action rifles of the time had 5-round magazines. This, as you can see on the lower end of the screen, had 6 rounds. Bit unique. And technically this Italian rifle I've commandeered is virtually unchanged from the 1890s. That's how ill-equipped the Italian army was in World War II. Ooh, rifles from the 1890s. And machine guns like this one from the 20s that really... I mean, it's doing the job for me here, but as you can see, they weren't really well conducive to being quickly reloaded. And also with the open slots there, you see how this thing had open slots on it. That meant that this thing could easily... Damn it, I died. Ah, see? There we go. Oh, of course, you probably grew up with different Call of Duty games than I did. Because when I grew up with Call of Duty, it was still almost all World War II based. And that pretty much changed from in the late 2000s, so... But hey, we both grew up with the series.
I don't see any more. We gotta meet up with Hawk. All of you, on me! Looks like we're heading the rest of the way on foot.
Okay, how is it... How's it you guys got actual rifles and I'm stuck with the puny carbine? That's not very fair. Oh, there goes another Stuka. Ha ha ha. And yeah, this machine gun, as you can see when I'm reloading, it does have an open slot there. That was not a good design feature of any light machine guns, because if you have an open air thing like that, yes, it makes it easier to cool off and less likely to overheat. But it also means that mud and dirt and what have you can easily get into the gun and pretty much jam it. Oh. Ah, that's a series I have not played, Spyro. I haven't played any of those. I think it's mainly because I didn't grow up with PlayStation, and he and Crash were primarily PlayStation-oriented characters. But I hear that that series and Crash were pretty fun. I definitely have heard good things about the newer Crash game that they did. That is it, as long as you're just trying to play it and not trying to complete it. Yep, Otter, that was definitely a German Stuka. Oh, Brooklyn, you and your bravado. I do love the banter between your squad mates in this game while you're fighting. Oh, and fun fact that they do leave out in this game. One way in which the Allied forces quickly asserted control over Sicily and established some form of military government and interim civilian government. They actually allied, no joke, they allied with... Yeah, it is, Otter. No joke. Since they saw it as a quick way to establish some authority in Sicily, one way in which the Allies went about it, they actually allied themselves with the mob in Sicily. I'm not joking. The Allies actually reached out to the Sicilian mob families and all that, and actually more or less turned a blind eye to their illicit activities because, well, hey, they know this part of Italy a lot more than we do, and they can help us establish some sort of order here.
Count your arms and legs and let's go.
So yeah, the Allies did ally themselves with the mob in this. The Allies did ally themselves with the mob, like I was saying, in World War II. Because, well, they saw it as a nice quick way to go, well, Mussolini's been in power for a couple decades. What's one quick way to get the Italians used to not having him be in power? Have the mob help us. Because Mussolini was one part of him becoming... Dobby? Dobby never meant to kill, only maim or seriously injure. Dobby is here to save Harry Potter and his friends. There you go, Bear. Oh.
Get down. Stay out of sight.
I've already gotten down, Sarge.
Across the bridge.
Huh. Wow, look at that.
But they ain't moving. They're sitting ducks.
Thunder, this is Fox. What's your status? Over.
Hey, by all means, I haven't had anyone clip me yet, and I kind of wish some people would. Not that I'm naming names, Otter. Okay. Ah, there's their problem. They're having trouble getting that Kumblerwagen and out of the pit there. So yeah. Oh yeah, they're completely traffic jammed. Well, we are close enough. Well, we are only a few miles inland of Sicily. And we do have the Navy nearby. Ah. Well, I always make sure to save highlights of my streams, Bear. And I'm pretty sure you're able to clip highlights. I'm not sure if Twitch changed that. So it won't. So I'll try not to make it lost media. But yeah, a completely exposed convoy in a traffic jam. We're only a few miles inland, so the Navy's nearby.
Good work.
Let's call in some naval support.
Battery, grid 233937. Enemy convoy in open. Fire for effect. Over. Hold on to your helmets. This is gonna be close.
Here comes the Navy. Haha! Ooh! Well, that one tank just went in the river. Yep. Well, and that was one thing we definitely had on our side when this real-life counterattack happened in Sicily. We had a large naval fleet just offshore with their big guns, and you can have the most formidable tanks in the world, like the Germans had by this point, but even a giant tank is still fodder to naval guns. Ugh, damn Stukas. Oh, I identify as Hufflepuff, Bear. I mean, it's basically a process of elimination thing I did as I grew up with the series. I never did the official Pottermore thing. I just took what I remembered growing up with the books and all that as a kid and just went down the list. Gryffindor. All my favorite characters are Gryffindors, but I don't think I'd be a Gryffindor. Because, well, I'm not very athletic. And you know Gryffindors are all about physical courage and bravery and being bold and all that. I'm definitely more on the academic side, but I try not to be very Sheldon Cooper-y, shall we say, with my intelligence, so Ravenclaw was out because while there are exceptions like Luna and all that, Ravenclaw in the lore tends to have the reputation of having a bunch of students who are very smug about their intelligence. Well, and there are the occasional good Slytherins, but I would not want to be identified as a Slytherin. I mean, that's basically the racist prep boy part of Hogwarts. I mean, they literally all the time go, "Do you know who my father is? My father will hear about this." So that left me with Hufflepuff, but hey, you know what? The next Batman was a Hufflepuff. Yes, that's why I prefer to remember him as, not Edward. And from what I understand, Robert also prefers to be remembered from Harry Potter instead of Twilight.
Move in!
Yep. Well, and yes, since we're fighting through Sicily, it's not really out of the ordinary that we'd happen to be coming across old Roman ruins. Although some of these ruins might be Greek instead of Roman. Ah, yes. Yeah, I never watched it myself, Bear. Not really my thing. I'm not super into the whole melodramatic romance sort of thing. It's just not my cup of tea. I mean, there are romantic pairings I like, but I'm just not too fond of the whole, oh, I love you too, I will do anything for our love sort of stories. I guess I prefer romances where it's more cutesy. Like, to me, a good romantic pairing is, for instance, Roger Rabbit and Jessica. That's a... Oh, you just now saw that on Discord? Bear? Hey. 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 Hey, it seemed like an appropriate reaction to the good night from last night. Besides, damn it. Besides, I always maintain that there are two people in this world. People who love Winnie the Pooh and people who never grew up with it. Because I find that if you've ever grown up with Winnie the Pooh, you never really outgrow it. It's just so sweet, and it's just so sweet and innocent. Of course, like a lot of people, the older I get, the more I relate to him. Hello. Damn Stukas. So yeah, Otter, this game has a lot more Stukas than the last Call of Duty game I streamed, as you can see. Yeah. Well, I figured you were mostly doing it as like a yeah, good night sort of joke since I was responding to Scott with the Pennywise gif. Wait. The storm. Just like that moment in Back to the Future, huh, One Pro? You hear the rumbling and like Doc. Pause. The storm. Yep.
Italian bivouac. Stay sharp.
Oh yeah, that's something ain't about me. You'll find out right away, Bear. I am a huge Back to the Future nerd. Like, absolutely. It is easily my favorite series. I mean, if the username weren't enough of an indication. Well, I thank you for the clip. Well, and there is a little detail about this Italian rifle I'm using that I really don't want to share here because, well, it might be a little too much of a factoid. Well, I'm sure some of them are supposed to be Italian, Otter, but if you freeze-framed it, they are German Stukas that you see in this game. And I understand why. It's less time on for game development, so just use one model for all the Stukas in the game, which is understandable. What was that you were saying to me in Italian? Exactly. Exactly. Yes. Well, speaking of heavy, look at that. They're destroying an archaeological site. You can't destroy priceless stuff like that. It belongs in a museum. Yep, exactly, Otter. Well, and also this game came out in 2005, so you also have to keep that in mind. And I wish you had this sort of thing again where Yep. Oh. Oh, hey, you don't even need to reference that movie. Hey, there's a lot of stuff that can easily remind me of Back to the Future. Especially stormy weather. Because, well, my favorite moment from that entire series is the clock tower sequence. And that one's all about it storming like hell and all that.
Look, Sarge, that's one of our guys by that Jeep.
Lovely.
Where's the rest of your squad, Corporal?
They're pinned up ahead. They got some wounded, but I can't get to them.
Let's get you up there, then. Grab that sniper rifle. We need it more than he does.
Okay, back to being a sniper.
Find cover! Watch out!
Well, and I did notice that they did, again, probably because of rendering limitations at the time, they left out that a lot of these Italian soldiers on their helmets would have black plume feathers. Because, yeah, their outfit design was really weird because, well, Mussolini wanted them to be a big imperial conquering force, and as a result, they had a kind of outdated uniform look. Not the most practical of uniforms. Yeah, hold on. The medic's coming. We just need to take out these guys first.
Advancing! On your right!
Medic! Hurry!
Oh, and there's something you probably have noticed from last time, Otter, with this game versus the other Call of Duty I played. This time you actually see something more warranting a T rating, in that, well, apparently the enemies I shoot, if you pay attention, are made of wine. Well, we know it's not really wine, but... Okay, that was a funny animation. Oh, now this part's not too funny.
Yes, sir! You must be the naval liaison we heard about. Mangan, sir!
I'll stay here and tend to these guys.
Oh, this poor guy. Oh yeah, this guy. Oh, this poor guy. Okay, this guy's definitely developing PTSD here. I really hope this isn't alluding to what I think it is. Yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully this isn't... Well, hopefully this guy doesn't get sent to those field hospitals Patton visited in Sicily. Which, I don't know if you know that story. Patton was the overall commander of the American army in this invasion. And he almost got cashiered from the army and sent back home because, well, there were not one but 2 times during the campaign where he visited field hospitals, and he visited all the wounded soldiers, and he came across soldiers who didn't seem physically wounded, and pretty much were soldiers who were suffering from what we would now know as PTSD, and Patton, unfortunately, was one of those old-fashioned cavalier types who refused to believe that PTSD was a real thing. He thought it was just an excuse for cowardice, and he literally slapped these soldiers who were behind the lines, getting medical care for what we know were psychological issues, but he called them damn cowards and slapped them. And news of it got back home, and there was a big uproar, and he almost was sent back home packing. The only reason he wasn't was because by this point he had already developed a reputation in the German army as a fierce American commander. But he was more or less put in military exile for about half a year. Pretty much because Eisenhower, who was friends with him, was hoping, well, if I give him a slap on the wrist and just put him in a desk job for a few months, maybe he'll calm down and learn his lesson. Oh, right, I'm supposed to go that way. Yeah, I mean, that's putting it mildly. He was a useful commander. That's the best, most positive thing I can say about him. He had his uses, but he never was a commander who should have ever been in charge of anything. He was pretty much the epitome of really good subordinate, but if you try putting him in charge of something, everything goes to hell. Aww. Indeed. Eat bear, indeed. Nice way to lighten the mood after that little factoid. Yeah. And no joke, Bear, if one were to ask me what my favorite live-action Disney film from the past few years has been, it easily would be Christopher Robin. That movie was so adorable and so touching. Actually made me almost cry while I was watching it. I love it too. In fact, I don't know if you paid attention, but this is actually an Eeyore modeled after how he looked in that movie. Because, well, Eeyore ended up being my favorite part of that movie. I just loved how much of a scene stealer he was. Hello, Evelyn, my wife. Yep. Okay.
You must be from the 16th. We've been expecting you boys.
Sergeant Hawkins.
Captain James, 504th. Won't lie.
More paratrooper guys.
Been taking a real beating. Could use your extra muscle. Tell me that radio works.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Without those big guns, we don't stand a chance.
Where do you need us?
German armor is getting real close. Send your best through those tunnels and up to the front line. Hurry!
Yes, sir.
Okay, people, you heard the captain. You and Vic, get going. Let's keep our Navy friend out of trouble. We'll bring up the rear. Squad, move in!
Well. What? Oh, you get the hang of it very quickly, Otter. Trust me. Back when I strictly lurked on Overchant, back when I was strictly a Twitch lurker, I learned quickly how to clip. Yep. So yeah, these are more 82nd Airborne guys, as you can see by the arm patch. And that is true to this counterattack we're fighting off because, well, the 82nd Airborne happened to be ahead of the 101st Airborne still. And they were the ones who received the brunt of this German counterattack with this Panzer Division. And, well, of course, airborne divisions aren't really designed to withstand attacks by full panzer divisions because they're basically light infantry in how they're equipped. Like the most potent anti-tank thing they would have would be bazookas. And well, bazookas really were useful if you came dangerously close to a German tank. Otherwise, they were not that effective against German tanks. Because, well, they only had 60mm round rockets on them. And unless you're really close, that ain't gonna do shit to, like, a Tiger tank. Best you could hope for is, well, maybe take out its tracks and make it immobile.
Now that's a whole lot of tanks.
Oh dear. Oh, look at all those German tanks coming our way. Look at that, Otter. Oh, look at that. They did say a whole German division was coming at us. Whew. Well, what do you mean by that, Bear? I'm a little confused. Do you mean that... Do you mean like Winnie the Pooh? Ah. Okay. Well, I can see that with some of the characters. Tigger's not quite air support. We do have that radio op Otter, but it won't quite be for air support. Because remember, like I said, we're only a few miles inland, and since the invasion is still just a couple days in, we still have an entire Allied fleet just offshore. So I think we're going to be calling in a different type of firepower. Yeah, really the only character, really the one character out of the bunch I could see as having some sort of issue was, let's face it, Rabbit is clearly obsessive compulsive to the nth degree. Rabbit definitely was very obsessive about keeping everything neat, orderly, and tidy. Tigger, I don't know so much about ADHD. Yeah, I don't. Well, Eeyore, I see Eeyore as he definitely suffered from depression. That was clear. I almost would say manic depression because he would occasionally be happy, but even when he was happy, he was like low-key happy, so yeah, I think it was just chronic depression on his part, but again, part of the charm of Eeyore is that he can't... But part of the charm of Eeyore is that he does get happy at times. He's not always miserable. And it's usually a really special thing when he's happy about something. I mean, heck, my favorite part of the Christopher Robin movie is when Eeyore sees Christopher Robin fighting in the Heffalump, and he actually realizes that this is Christopher Robin just grown up that he's hanging out with. And that moment is the one out of all the moments that especially made me get misty-eyed. Because that part's just so adorable. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I'm not too fond of those type of jokes about Eeyore. You know the ones I'm talking about. They're not the ones I can say on here. But they're definitely jokes that I always thought were a little too mean-spirited with that character. Ugh.
Get on that machine gun! I want a base of fire on that ridge line! Nothing gets through!
Oh, I love Piglet too. Really, the only character in Winnie the Pooh I was never really a fan of was Rabbit.
Never miss a good chance to shut up, you
Okay, I see we're really desperate with this counterattack because we're still using an Italian machine gun to try to hold them off. Oh, yes. Well, when you get to a certain age of adulthood, Winnie the Pooh really knows how to get you in the feels. Damn it. But yeah, really, I always saw Winnie the Pooh as like an allegory for childlike innocence. And so that's part of the reason why it's so appealing.
Now that's a whole lot of text.
Yep.
We don't stand a chance. Not standing here, we don't, Popeye. Come on.
Oh boy. Oh shit.
I'm gonna base a fire on that ridge line. Nothing gets through.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm very much one of those who's all about keeping your inner child alive if you can, because I really feel like that's that if you don't, then you run the risk of just being a cynical asshole to everyone, and I really don't want to be that kind of person. I was never one of those who's like, oh, be a grown-up. Yeah, indeed. Indeed, Bear, indeed. I talk about all this, give you the feel stuff while we're fighting off, Yeah, I need to get some health. No, that's okay, Bear. It's okay. Hey, I appreciate the gesture, but it's fine.
Don't slow down. Move. Let's go. Into the tunnels now.
Oh. Oh dear.
Keep moving.
Yes, keep moving!
Wrong one. Back the other way.
Damn it. Okay.
Get to the top of that command bunker. Doors jammed.
Step aside, Sarge. I can open this puppy up.
Here we go. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm very much like, no, if someone still enjoys stuff from childhood, let them enjoy stuff from childhood. But don't be all, oh, how old are you? Grow up.
All right, man, you're up. Radio's broken, sir. It got pretty banged up in the explosion.
Oh dear.
Radio over there. Oh, I think so. I'm gonna need a few minutes though.
Get down there. Use those bunkers for cover. Hold off those tanks any way you can. Get this man the few minutes he needs.
Okay, need to hold off these tanks for a few minutes. Hopefully we have something to use against tanks here. Oh, it's fine, Bear, it's fine. Okay. Alright. Yes. Come on. Bazooka 1. Bazooka 2. Damn it! Damn it! Okay. Damn tanks! Well, one way you can smile about the rain, Bear, well, there is that cute Winnie the Pooh song about it raining. That's always one of two things I think of on a rainy day. The rain, rain, rain came down, down, down. I mean, that song I always thought had one of the most adorable Pooh moments where he's up on the he's up high up in the tree where his house is with his pots of honey, and the song talks about how his first thought when it started to flood in the 100-acre woods was, I must rescue my supper.
Get in the bunker!
Yeah, I hear ya.
We need suppressing fire on them tanks!
Alright. Oh, well, thanks, Bear. Although I have to confess, there are a lot of days where it's hard for me to feel cheery. One step at a time. Yeah, and basically, Bear, think of me as a middle ground between Haley and Jasmine, whereas Jasmine's super outgoing and super energetic, and Haley's very low key and very much not so outgoing. I'm kind of in the middle. I'm not nearly as outgoing or wonderfully silly as Jazz, but I'm not quite so reserved as Haley, or at least I try not to be. Again, I see myself as a nice middle between them. Where are you? Damn it. There we go. And now I need to get some damn first aid. Running out of health fast. Again, they did say an entire division was coming after us. Lovely.
The radio's up and working! Cover me! The cruisers need firing coordinates! Medic! Medic!
Oh dear, the Sarge is down.
Get up there and spot targets for Mangan. Go!
Ah, that's why they told me to fall back. Damn tigers. Yeah, like I said, bazookas ain't gonna do shit against tigers. At least our radio's up. Just need to find the targets. There we go.
Fire mission 3, 2, 5, 5, 9, 5, 8.
Okay, Otter. Here comes our firepower. But again, not aerial firepower. Yep, we're gonna get some actual use out of our battleships. Come on. Yes. There we go. There goes our naval power. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, Tiger ain't shit compared to a naval round. Yeah. Oh, trust me, I totally get that at Bear. I mean, it's actually amazing that I've taken to streaming as well as I have because, well, I am not the most easily outgoing person in real life. I mean, my real life friends are rather small in number. I am very much someone to where I'm hesitant to spontaneously become friends with someone. It's definitely a case of I need to interact with someone first and actually get to know them. But yes, Otter, naval artillery time.
Hey, you sure you were right, Sarge?
This one wasn't even close.
You keep saying that, Sarge.
Looks
You're
like
tempting
Terrence Brothers
fate.
are on the run. Outstanding work, son. Putting you in for corporal. You deserve it.
Yeah, I guess you've done all right out there.
Well, thanks for the endorsement, Vic. Hell of a way to get a battlefield promotion, wouldn't you say? Literally holding off an entire armored division. You sure that only corporal? Huh. You'd think I'd get a little more than just promoted to corporal. I helped you fight off an entire armored division, damn it.
And they've been bombing that burg for hours. There ain't gonna be no one left to fight. Suits me. At least the wind shifted. I've had my fill of ash from that damn volcano.
It ain't gonna be so bad.
Oh, I totally get that. They were a partial inspiration for me, as was someone who I know Otter from. She is a little smaller on platform wise than they are, but she's a wonderful person too. Her name is Cosmo Kitty. She streams on here. She does YouTube and TikTok, Instagram, and she's also big on cosplaying and all that sort of thing. And she, Haley, and Jasmine were basically the trifecta of support for me deciding to take the leap into doing this. Which I really do appreciate. I would appreciate it more if this damn controller would work. The pitfalls of getting a compatible controller instead of a proper controller for the console, because said console is like 20 years old. Yes, Distinguished Service Medal. Yeah, damn straight, Otter. And yeah, you heard Kelly right. There is a volcano erupting right near us. And that is true to history also. This city we're trying to capture in Sicily, this basically... Oh dear. This city in Sicily, Troina, this basically, once we had established a bridgehead in Sicily, and it was clear that the Italian army just wasn't going to put up much of a fight, and the counterattack at Piano Lupo failed, the Germans more or less pulled back to a line of defense in northern Sicily that covered a lot less ground and was easier to defend, and also where there was high mountainous terrain, including a volcano, Mount Etna, which was erupting at the time of this campaign. And so that is true to life, that you saw it in the distance erupting there. And Troino is basically the linchpin of this line of defense that the Germans threw up in northern Sicily, and it was a very hard nut to crack. And, well, it took us a while to capture it, let's just say that. Okay. See, now we're just fighting German soldiers. Yeah, guten Tag to you too. Ah. Well, and good for you. Good for you, Bear. I wish I had that many on TikTok, but to be fair, I don't post nearly as often on there as I'm assuming you do, and certainly not nearly as much as, say, Haley, Jazz, or Cosmo Kitty, who I told you about. But 500, that's quite an achievement. It really is. I mean, my numbers, I think, last I checked, like 67, 68, somewhere around there. Oh, you were pulling my chain. That's alright, Bear. Reasonable smartassery is perfectly welcome here. Well, and of course, Troina, since it was such a tough nut. Oh, so the algorithm is kind to you. You are very lucky. Yep. Yeah, I don't know what it is about my TikTok. I just can't seem to get the right timing for posting stuff on there. Like, no joke. I only have one video on there that got 1,000 or more views, and of all things, it's me duetting. It's me doing a double cosplay where simultaneously I'm being Horace and Jasper from the animated 101 Dalmatians. I don't know why that's my most viewed one, but it was a fun one to do, especially me being Horace with the whole, yeah, but Jasper, I've been thinking. And of course, part of... Well, on my main page for my Twitch here, there's a link to my TikTok, and 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 failing that, it's just simply pop culture and history guy, all lowercase and all jumbled together, because TikTok wouldn't let me space out the wording, so it's just lowercase pop culture and history guy. Here, I'll type it in for you. There you go. Yep. Because yeah, I like being known as Doc. I just know that it's not really something for if I ever make something out of content creating. I know it's not something I could really use as a brand name. And so pop culture and history guy is the name I've gone for my YouTube channel and all that, because that's more of an actual brand name sort of thing. Whereas DocFlux88 is very much a username, and being known as Doc, I like that. It's just that's not something I could really market myself as. Excuse me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, Sergeant. Where is our goddamn support? Well, and one unfortunate thing about this city, Troina, being so hard for us to capture, that meant we resorted to just bombing and shelling the shit out of it, and that just made it harder to attack because, well, a city of rubble is actually a much easier city to defend because it provides you with far more places to hide. Well, to each their own, but I kind of hope not, Bear, because I'm sorry, I am not a fan of that character in Frozen. I liked the story in Frozen, but I didn't like him so much. In terms of the comedic characters, I much more preferred Sven. I thought he was a much funnier character, personally. Olaf kind of annoyed me, but that's just me. Yeah. And I admit it, a big part of it is I'm just not a big fan of Josh Gad. Josh Gad just annoys me. He was the one thing in the live-action Beauty and the Beast I really didn't like. Which is a shame because I really loved the guy who played Gaston in that remake. I felt he did a really good job. Okay, guess I'll switch to the Tommy gun. Well, okay. Also, before you continue, Bear, well, another thing to know about me, like I've said before on Jazz's Discord, I'm not an MCU fan, and that's pointed very mildly, so also keep that in mind if you're trying to think of what character I'm like. Yes, flank the machine gun. There we go. Cleared them out.
Up the street!
They got this whole street zeroed. Stay clear. Stay clear.
Oh, good. Oh, goody. They've got mortars zeroed in here.
To that building.
Ah. Oh. I really appreciate that, Bear, because so many other smaller scale people you could have taken a chance on, and you chose me. I really appreciate that.
Stay low.
I really do. I mean, I assume you've seen The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. You're literally having me this close to doing the Snoopy when Schroeder's playing the piano, doing the "I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna cry" sort of finger wag. Oh, speaking of sad stuff.
We gotta get out of the open. Vic, get this door open. I'm on it.
Oh dear. Poor Vic.
Into that building. Go.
We gotta help Vic!
He's dead already. There's nothing we can do.
Vic. You were an asshole, Vic, but you were our asshole.
You all right, Corporal? Good. We have a long way to go. Everybody, stay alert.
Yep. Damn it. Yep, exactly. There, see how you like getting riddled. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, there was the charm of him calling out Brooklyn for being completely full of shit, of him going like, "Hey, there was this one time in Africa, took down an entire platoon single-handedly." Ah, that story gets more ridiculous every time I hear it. That moment is charming. Okay. Now I've got a German machine gun. Let's see how good German engineering is. Yes? I'm already upstairs. Yep. Oh, Otter! I don't think Otter ever left. I think he's just been lurking. Honestly, I think Otter's a little relieved that he's not the one who has to keep the conversation going tonight. I kid, Otter, I kid. Oh, whipping out the cute kitty emoji too. Yep. Okay. All right. I guess it's time to move up then. Damn it. Haha. There we go. Oh, there goes one of our tanks. Slowly but surely making its way through this bombed out city. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Have an emoji exchange. Yeah, talk amongst yourselves. See, even one pro's joining in the fun. There we go. Use your own grenades against you. Well, and this is definitely another thing you can notice about this game. We're starting to see the them starting to program the mechanics of actually having bipods that can be positioned on any sort of flat surface. Yes, I am going Wolfenstein by hip firing with your machine gun. Ooh, what's the ominous music all about? Oh. Oh, shit. They got a flak gun. Lovely. Lovely, got a damn flak gun to deal with now. Yep. It's almost like I've played this game a gazillion times growing up. And unlike the first Call of Duty I streamed on here, I'm actually doing this on normal difficulty, not easy. Sure, I got shot a few times, but yeah, look at that. Look at that flak gun. Ugh. Yeah, we need to take that fucker out. Oh, of course they would be guarding the way to it. Yes, it was staring at you. Oh, wait. You're talking about... Wait. You talking about Pennywise here? That Pennywise. You're scaring Bear. Do I need to start putting you down by pointing out how you let a group of children beat you? Well, Bear, I did redo my poster layout today because, well, spooky season is practically here. I mean, the theme parks are already starting to do all their Halloween stuff, so why shouldn't I? So I put all my spooky and spooky-ish stuff up here. I sadly don't have too many for the holidays. So I'll just have to resort to holiday-released movies. And I do have plenty of posters with that. Yep. Oh, I know what you meant by drinking pumpkin spice. Speaking of caffeine. Damn it. There we go. If I lie prone, it'll be harder for you to get me. Damn it. Come on now. Come on, we're so close to the end of this level. Ah, yes. Oh, so you're flying at this point in terms of the caffeine. Damn it. Okay. What the fuck? Okay. There we go. Maybe if I start out with full health, it'll go differently. Yeah. Oh. Oh, yeah. Yeah, might want to be careful with that, Bear. Heart problems are no joke. I mean, I remember when I was a teenager, I actually got diagnosed with a heart murmur. Thankfully, I don't have that anymore, but that was pretty dicey. Had to do the whole stress test and everything for them to identify it. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah. Oh, that. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Bear. I'm so sorry. Oh, dear God. Well, I hope you're feeling a lot better now than you did then. Hope you're feeling a lot better. Ugh. Now Otter, I know that you're probably very familiar with the 88 since it started out as an anti-aircraft gun. There we go. Yes, head around the back. Because we don't have anything to tear up that barbed wire. Oh boy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that... Again, all I can say is I'm sorry you had to go through that. I mean... Man. Okay, here's something for you, Otter. Do you know why the Germans focus specifically on an 88mm gun? Little trivia question for you, Otter. Actually, no. No, Otter, you'd think so, but no. It's actually because they found that was the heaviest hitting round they could produce and still have it be a one-piece bit of ammunition that someone could carry without becoming exhausted very quickly. That's why it was 88mm. They pretty much were experimenting all the way back in World War I with artillery ammunition that they could handle to where you could practically handle it all day. Oh yeah. Yeah, that would put the kibosh on that, at least in terms of any sort of frontline stuff of Bear. You definitely would have been given a desk job sort of thing. But it's good that you're okay now. But yeah, Otter, no, it simply came down to what heavy-hitting round can we produce that our soldiers can load quickly without having to wear themselves out or split the ammunition into two parts. Because anything above 88 millimeters, then you start to get into artillery rounds where you would have to literally load. Yeah. Because, yeah, any bigger, then you're starting to get into two-piece artillery ammunition to where you really have to load the projectile in first and then the propellant. Because if you tried loading both at the same time, it just would be too heavy. You would wear yourself out too quickly, and that's not good in a battle. Well, and yes, there is that famous incident during 1940, during the Battle of France, where Rommel, more or less, was the one who first used 88s in large numbers as anti-tank weapons, because there was one brief moment in that battle where the German attack into France and the Blitzkrieg and all that might have been stopped. Yep, football, all touchdown, yes. But, yeah, it was, it was about, it was actually a little over, it was just over a week into the Battle of France in 1940. Around mid to late May, the British decide to launch a counterattack against the German and Panzer units. Problem was they couldn't get the French to coordinate with them properly, so that one said counterattack happened. It ended up being a counterattacking force that was roughly the strength of like a division. But it had slammed into the 7th Panzer, which was commanded by Rommel at the time. And they actually did make some inroads at first with this attack, even though it wasn't the most well-coordinated attack. And what happened? And Rommel actually got really worried during this attack when it initially had momentum, to where he, in desperation, ordered any guns he had to fire at the British tanks, because the Germans found that their 37mm anti-tank guns that they had at the time were pretty much useless against the British tanks, because the British tanks had much thicker armor than German tanks. So Rommel, in desperation, turned to his flak units with their 88mm guns and said, okay, aim at them over open sights, see if you can take them out. And they found, we can actually use these things to destroy tanks. I mean, there had been some talk before then about that weapon having anti-tank capabilities, but there was nothing really in terms of battlefield experience that proved it. Yeah. But this counterattack, eventually the Germans realized that it was only a force about the size of a division that was attacking, and they quickly beat it back. But it had the effect of Hitler panicked when he heard about the attack, especially when Rommel was exaggerating the force that was attacking him to try to make himself look good by saying, "Oh, I'm being attacked by hundreds of tanks," when really he was being attacked by less than 100 tanks, most of which were tanks that had at most machine guns. But Hitler panicked because he had not expected the big blitzkrieg attack into France to be so successful as it was, because it was a gamble attack that the French would be slow to react and all that. And he made the decision to order a halt to the attack, to the Panzer's attack. He ordered all the Panzer divisions to halt for 24 hours while they beat back this British assault. And that proved very important to the British, because while their counterattack failed to really make much of an impact in terms of the battle overall, by forcing the Germans to halt their Panzer divisions for an extra day, it gave the British enough time to solidify a defensive perimeter around Dunkirk. So this counterattack basically is how the Dunkirk evacuation was able to happen in the first place, because the German High Command panicked and held its Panzer divisions back at a crucial moment when they were within a day's drive of reaching the coast of France and easily capturing the pretty much undefended major channel ports. But that ended up not happening. And as we all know, Dunkirk basically gave Britain the resolve to still carry on the fight, even though France ended up surrendering. Yes, let's blow up that thing. There we go. Haha! We have blown up their weapon. And I think it's safe to say this town is ours now. Yes!
This town must be at least 1,000 years old.
Yeah. Man, Vic ain't here to see it. Proud bastards.
Indeed.
That son of a bitch. Selfish, mean-spirited bulldog was the toughest soldier we had.
Get her up.
Yep.
Doing all right? Now maybe we can say a word or two about Vic.
Indeed. Yep, goodbye 88. Now this technically is the last part of the Sicily campaign, but remembering how many more levels there are in this game, and since I don't have many plans, and well, I feel like we have enough time to do it. I wanted to do one more level before I called it a night, because doing the math in my head with how many levels are left, if I put it off till next time, then next time would have been an extra long stream. And, well, I mean, you guys okay with me doing one more? Okay, I'm assuming that's one vote yes from Bear. You okay with one more, Otter? I promise you, this one will be an epic one to end on. Okay. Because, yeah. So, Sicily, what ended up happening is we broke the German line of defense at Troina, and basically that was their main line of defense left in it. Okay, One Pro. Was their main line of defense that was left. And, well, it quickly became an match between Patton and it became pretty much an ego match once it was clear that the Germans don't have really any defenses left in Sicily, between Patton and Montgomery, to where instead of cooperating with each other to try to see if they can cut off the German retreat before they could be evacuated to the Italian mainland, they instead wasted their time racing each other to the last major objective in Sicily, which really Aw, I love Ratatouille. Remy's so adorable. And the Lion King. But yeah, so Patton and Montgomery decide to have pretty much a you-know-what waving contest. And instead of let's try to prevent the Germans from evacuating from Sicily, they pretty much let the Germans escape while they wasted their time racing each other to this last major objective on the island. And Patton did narrowly beat Montgomery to the race, but the victory in Sicily ended up being rather hollow because while we did capture hundreds of thousands of Axis troops, and Sicily was a good base to further secure trade routes and all that in the Mediterranean, most of those soldiers we captured were Italian soldiers who really didn't put up much of a fight. The 2 German units that were sent into Sicily were able to escape to the Italian mainland mainly intact. And, well, Churchill managed to convince and some of the Allied leaders, hey, what if we send Allied forces into mainland Italy? Trying to argue, that's like a soft underbelly to fortified Europe. And of course, Churchill forgot that Italy is a very mountainous country, and that quickly became a very slow, bloody slog up the Italian peninsula for the rest of the war. Basically, after Sicily, Italy more or less starts becoming a sideshow, because by the time Sicily is officially captured, planning's already begun for what everyone knows will be the ultimate effort of the Western Allies, the invasion of France the following summer. Yes, D-Day. And as part of these preparations, the 1st Infantry Division here is pulled out of the line to get enough time to rest and recoup, get new recruits, get back up to strength, and start training for D-Day. And now some newsreel talk.
Through the unmatched heroism of the 1st Infantry Division, Allied forces were able to overpower Axis troops at Gela and Troina. Even the tanks of the mighty Hermann Goering Division were no match for one of the most accomplished American fighting units of World War II. In 37 days of continuous fighting, the Big Red One had taken control of 18 towns and villages. Operation Husky was an unmitigated Allied success, as Axis forces were driven from the island and the Mediterranean sea lanes reopened. Italian dictator Benito Mussolini is removed from power, and Italy surrenders on September 8, 1943.
But of course, Hitler was not going to let Italy leave the war, so he sent massive German armies into Italy to basically fortify it.
And preceded by U.S. and British airborne drops, Operation Overlord is
Here we
the
go.
largest amphibious invasion
Yep,
in history.
D-Day.
Now under the command of Major General Clarence R. Hubner, the division sails back to the British Isles that October and begins training for what would become one of the most decisive conflicts of the war. In the early morning hours of June 6, 1944, under the umbrella of the English Channel's unpredictable weather, the invasion gets underway. The 1st Infantry Division is tasked with securing a section of the Normandy coast designated as Omaha Beach. But the German army is well prepared.
Omaha Beach?
Himself, looking for retribution for his sound defeat in North Africa.
That doesn't sound good.
Northern France. The definitive turning point in the war is at hand.
Of course, this is a T-rated game, so I doubt we'll get the full Saving Private Ryan treatment here. Whew. I told you we'd have the last level be an epic one to end the night.
Christ, Kelly! I don't know how those Navy guys do this. This is gonna be no sweat, right, guys? I mean, they probably don't even know we're coming. Just like the lieutenant said. Oh, yeah, sure. Just like the lieutenant said. Hey, son,
Exactly.
why aren't we in those Higgins boats? The rest of the division.
Because it's our job to make sure those boys
Oh, Kelly, if you're seasick on this thing, you would have been way more seasick in one of those Higgins boats.
job that we thought.
Oh dear.
Hold on! We gotta protect those Higgins boats. Take these. Direct the mortar fire. Take out those bunkers on the cliff face.
Yep. Here we are, D-Day.
Keep it up! Keep it up! Direct hit! Outstanding!
Yep. Yep, truly one of the most momentous days of the entire war. Uh-oh. Oh boy.
I got you, buddy.
Thanks, Brooklyn. Ugh.
Two kinds of people are staying on this beach. The dead and those who are going to die. Now get moving!
Wake up! There you go. On your feet, Corporal.
Well, okay, it would appear that the guy I'm playing is a bit lucky in that he was knocked out for most of the morning. Because that moment just now of hearing the guy yelling, two kinds of people are gonna be on this beach, the dead and those who are going to die, that really happened on Omaha Beach. One of the main commanders on there, one of the frontline commanders that morning, was seeing that how badly things were going and how bogged down they were at Omaha Beach, and literally the soldiers were like this guy. They were desperately cleaning behind whatever embankments they could find because the German machine gun and artillery fire was just so effective. And eventually this one commander, I forget who, basically decides, you know what, if we stay here much longer, we're all gonna die. So he managed to rally everyone going, look, either we stay here and all die, or we keep moving. If we keep moving, we have a chance. And, well, enough people followed him to where they did manage to make their way off this beach. Of course, it literally took all morning for it to happen. The first troops landing on Omaha Beach, I think, were somewhere between 6 and 7 a.m. It wasn't until around midday that the first Allied troops actually, or the first American troops, I should say, since Omaha was just American soldiers, the first American soldiers actually made it off Omaha. It took until midday for that to happen. And it got so bad that the top American commander in D-Day, Omar Bradley, briefly considered abandoning Omaha Beach and reinforcing more successful landings elsewhere in Normandy. But Omaha had to be taken because if it wasn't taken, there would have been way too much unconquered space in between the beaches that had been taken relatively quickly, and would have made it far easier for the German soldiers to counterattack. And that was in the back of everyone's mind, was the dreaded fear of a German counterattack that would just roll over the invasion. I mean, Churchill himself, he was very reluctant from the get-go about crossing the English Channel directly for an attack because, well, he knew that if an attack across the English Channel failed, given that it took literally 2 years to set up D-Day, if D-Day had failed, it's likely that there may not have been much more large-scale Allied action in Western Europe, because the willpower might not have been there to rebuild and try again. Basically, they were afraid that every beach was going to be like Omaha Beach on D-Day. And it turns out Omaha was really the only beach where things went wrong. Yes, use the bulldozer. Damn it. Took out our damn tank. Now we've got to do it all ourselves again. Well, and the reason why Normandy was chosen for D-Day really was because it was hoped that it wouldn't be as fortified as, say, a more direct attack across the English Channel. Like, say, at Calais, where the English Channel was at its narrowest, because, yes, it would have provided a quicker route to Germany, but that was the most fortified part of the French coast, and everyone knew it. By attacking at Normandy, it was hoped that, well, the German defenses won't be as strong, so... And plus, if we make them think we're still going to attack at Calais, hey, maybe we can pull this off. And they did, and part of that was they had Patton. Patton was wanting to be among those commanding on D-Day, but instead they had him commanding an army group that really was a fake army group in southern England, basically as a distraction, because they knew that the Germans had a lot of admiration for Patton as a commander and were convinced, oh, any real attack across the Channel, Patton will be someone they have leading the attack. So they had Patton in charge of a fake army, and the ruse worked. It actually worked absurdly well, to where as late as a month into the Battle of Normandy, Hitler was still convinced that the real main Allied attack across the Channel hadn't happened yet, and that Normandy was just a diversion. And I know this looks like one, but this is not an AK-47. This is actually what the AK-47 was based on. This is basically the grandfather of guns like the AK-47, the German Sturmgewehr 44. Basically, it was the first assault rifle in history. Yeah, it's one of those German weapons they developed in World War II that was very groundbreaking and very ahead of its time. But fortunately for the Allies, they just didn't make enough of them because of increased shortages as the war went on. We're almost officially off the beach. We've almost made it to the top of the cliffs. We just need to keep going. Yes, we were attacking your flanker. Okay, no one saw that. There we go. Yeah. And again, those both took a lot of inspiration from that weapon. It fired a 7.62 round, but they basically took the 7.62 rifle rounds from the Mauser rifle and cut it in half to make an intermediate round. So it didn't quite have the hitting power of a Mauser rifle, but it had more hitting power than a submachine gun. So it was basically like a compromise between the two. And I think about 400,000 of them were made during the war, which, yes, is a notable number, but you also have to keep in mind, we're talking 400,000 made, and you had an army of millions of men. That's really not enough to really have an decisive outcome. Oh, look, they have some nice radios here. Oops. Looks like they ain't gonna be calling for reinforcements much longer.
Now what?
Smitty! Let those engineers do their job!
Yeah, I hear ya. I hear you. Damn it. There, I'll use your own machine guns against you. Mwahaha! Come on. Let's. Okay, any more? Okay, good.
Into those trenches, now!
Well, and interestingly enough, it was a weapon that was developed more or less without Hitler's knowledge, which was something that honestly could have easily gotten you shot in the Third Reich. Because when the war started, Hitler had some old-fashioned views on what modern warfare needed. He felt all his infantry needed were submachine guns and mainly bolt-action rifles like he used in World War I. He felt that would be good enough for a modern battlefield. And the people who came up with this gun here, they did so in secret, like I said. They basically developed it because they wanted to see if it would work, and they secretly supplied some units of the German army out on the Eastern Front with prototypes of this. And then Hitler visited the Eastern Front, and he was asking his soldiers, what weapons do you want more of? And they kept saying, we want more of this weapon. And he's like, what are you talking about? And they showed him an example of this weapon. And much to the relief of the people who designed it, he didn't immediately have them round up and shot for not following his instructions, but instead was like, okay, this is a brilliant weapon. I'm going to officially rename it the Sturmgewehr. Because before then it was called, I think, the MP-44 or something like that. And of course that was very common of of him to come across something that wasn't his idea, but then overtake it in terms of propaganda value and all that, and make believe that, oh, he was the architect behind this idea. There we go.
Now what?
Vinny, let those engineers do their job. Cover those engineers, goddammit!
I hear you, Sergeant. I'm trying. I'm also trying not to get shot while doing it. Like that.
Get back! I'm gonna blow it!
Come on. There we go.
Keep moving, Brooklyn!
Now it is a bit, now it's definitely creative license here that these soldiers defending Omaha Beach would have this gun with them. That probably was not the case. They probably had just regular bolt action rifles and submachine guns, because the unit that was defending Omaha Beach, it was a trained veteran unit, but it wasn't necessarily a terribly well-equipped elite unit. It would have had basic gear. They just happened to be defending a very good position to defend from, on the top of really high cliffs, facing a beach that's very big, very wide, and it wasn't a sandy beach. That's another little creative license they did here. Omaha was not a sandy beach like it is today. It was a rough shingle beach, where about two-thirds of the way across was a low-lying seawall. And well, that's just a dream to defend and hell to attack.
Find those damn mortar pits and take them out!
There we go. Okay, might as well get some more health. There we go. I think this was the last Call of Duty game until more recent ones to actually have the whole, oh, you need to get health packs to restore your health. As for a while after this game, they just had it to where, oh, just go to cover quickly and you'll recover. Yep, I hear their orders. Damn it. Corporal, get out of my way. Thank you. Wait, what? Oh, no, no, no. Come on. Come on. Come on. Damn glitch. There we go. Damn game glitched me right there. Ugh. Yep, there goes the mortars again. Oh, there's some mortars. Haha. Well, so long, mortar. Because, yeah, that was something that was heavily propagandized about Omaha Beach after the war, that the myth that, oh, it was an elite veteran unit that happened to be defending Omaha Beach, and that wasn't the case. There we go. There goes another mortar. I don't think you're gonna have many mortars left. Damn it. Like I said though, after this level, I will be calling it a night, don't worry. I just figured what better dramatic way to end than with D-Day. Yeah, oof, indeed, Otter, indeed. Enough of these goddamn mortars. Yes, let's move! Yep, as they always say in those... Oh, indeed it is. I mean... But hey, would you expect any less for a D-Day themed level? I mean, D-Day was a very epic day in the war. Yeah. Actually, it kind of reminds me... You ever seen the movie The Longest Day, Otter? That early 60s movie about D-Day? A little dated in that since it's from the early 60s, it kind of sanitizes the violence and all that, but honestly, I thought overall it was a pretty good depiction of the events of that day. Granted, it is a movie that works best if you know the history, because it just shows you what happens. It doesn't really explain much of D-Day to, like, the casual observer. But it is a good, yeah, it's black and white. It's from the early 60s. It had a lot of people in it. Yeah, John Wayne was in it. Henry Fonda was in it, I believe. Various esteemed British and German actors were in it. But literally, yeah. But literally, with you talking about the fighting and me thinking about D-Day, I literally flashed to one of my favorite moments in the film, which is when the one German officer at the one bunker overlooking Omaha Beach, I think it's supposed to be, he begins his day like any other, like, vigilance in case an invasion happens, but nobody really thinks it's happening anytime soon. And as he's looking through the binoculars, he sees an endless sea of Allied ships, and you hear the Beethoven musical motif, for dramatic effect, that whole dun-dun-dun-dun thing. And then he remarks to himself as he double checks with the binoculars, "My God," turns around and tells his men, "Der invasion, they're coming." That's honestly one of my favorite moments of the movie, because, while again, Omaha Beach was a hard beach to capture, the Germans defending it were not expecting the invasion to happen. They just happened to look out and that, hey, we have a position that we can actually defend for a reasonable length of time. I really do hope that we do get a movie night of Midway, even though it is a long movie order. I mean the Midway from a couple years ago that Cosmo had with that vote, because that movie, I would say, even though it does get a little Hollywoody at times, it is a lot like those older epic war films where let's actually try to show the history here and in order to get people in, let's have a fair number of famous people sprinkled in the cast and all that. And for the most part, it does depict the lead into to Midway and the actual Battle of Midway pretty faithfully. I actually was surprisingly impressed by that film. I was going in hoping it was good, but expecting it to be maybe not so good. I mean, because it was directed by Roland Emmerich, the guy who did Independence Day and stuff like that. And I love Independence Day, but I would have never thought that that guy would make a really good historical film. And he actually did with Midway. Damn it. Okay. Let's... Okay, no more games. Clear out the damn mortar pits, because I know there's not much more to do after that. Okay. Yes. And there is one cool detail about the Longest Day movie. The British actor who plays the commander of the British glider-borne airborne troops who captured those two bridges, he was played by an actor who actually was a lower rank, who actually was, I think a private or maybe a corporal in that division who served on D-Day. So it's actually kind of neat that this officer is being portrayed by someone who actually was there on D-Day as part of that unit. Okay, I know that may have been overkill. Weaken the guy, and as he's still getting used to it, blow him up. Yep. Well, we still have to take out one more before the checkpoint can be done. How dare you throw our grenades back at us? There we go. That should be it for the damn mortars. Yes! We did it! Now the mortars are no more. Oh, damn it. You sneaky shits. Well, maybe not sneaky.
Maintain your intervals!
Okay. Okay, guys. You need me to open the gate for you? Well, let me find the button. Where is it again? Okay. Ah, there it is. Okay. Oh, apparently I leaped over the fence there. Or railing.
We still need to secure.
Do we have any idea how well guarded this thing is, Sarge?
No idea, Kelly, but Fox's orders are to secure that depot, whatever the resistance.
Same drill as always, huh, Sarge?
Now someone get those goddamn doors open!
Oh. Damn.
Squad, move in!
Dick move. Using their damn flak gun on us like that? Dick move. Oh. Oh boy. Got another 88 to deal with, huh? Yep, there it is. Damn it. Okay. Here we go. Final stretch. Well, that should make you happy, Otter. The whole final part's all about getting to that 88. Yeah, I'll try to go this way instead. There we go. Took out their damn machine gun. There we go. Come on. Let's get that damn gun. Ah! There we go.
It looks like an entire division!
Someone get on that gun and take out those bunkers!
It's busted, son!
Then fix it, Schmitty! We can't hold off those crowds forever!
Right. Another counterattack.
Persistent, ain't they?
There we go. At least we're making some stuff blow up.
Corporal, and take out those damn bunkers!
There we go. Haha. Not so fun when it's your own 88, is it?
The fuel drums, Corporal! Shoot the fuel drums!
Ha ha ha! There we go. Ha ha!
Gentlemen!
Extra boon to us. We captured an 88 intact.
I've scraped through some tough fights since I've been in this man's army. Have to say that this one was the worst I've seen. We lost a lot of good men back there on that beach, and that's a damn shame. But by kicking down Hitler's front door, we saved the
Which
lives
is
of hundreds
true.
more that will follow. You are the best of the best, and I am damn proud to serve with each and every one of you.
Yes!
All right, enough said. Gather up some ammo, get some rest. I have a feeling that we're just getting started.
Indeed. But that'll have to wait until another Call of Duty games at some point in the future. Yep, save my progress. Yep. And let's switch back to here. So yeah, there's my full view, those of you who weren't here at the beginning, of the little spooky season setup I have. Yeah, I decided I'll just put the posters over the blue screen, and then when I need to use the blue screen for filming, I'll just take the posters down and put them aside. Less hassle than having to take the posters down and then put up the blue screen. Indeed, Otter, indeed. Day of days. But yeah. So yeah, here's my proper spooky time setup. Yep. Oh. That way you have a better view of them all. Yep, and well, and hopefully the reshooting footage I had to do today before stream. Hopefully my chroma key problems will be fixed now since I got a couple of these for the lower areas in terms of lighting. Oh, I know, real fancy lighting stuff. But yeah, yes, Scaretober is near. Oh, and I have plans for this channel. But yeah, well, and it's not all scary Halloween stuff up here. I managed to have a couple of cute things. I mean, Frank and Weenie, Nightmare Before Christmas, those are pretty cute films. And, well, The Mummy's more fun than scary. Oh, and also more fun than scary, there's Ghostbusters here. But yeah, so yeah, that's unfortunately all of the Battle of Normandy we're gonna see in this game, because now we're officially caught up to that prologue when I first started this game, because the next mission more or less explains what happened to me at the end of the prologue level. So now, when we resume, it'll be no more flashing back, just going forward in time, in terms of where these guys are. And yeah, the sergeant was not kidding when he said we lost a lot of good men on that damn beach, because total American casualties for D-Day were roughly around 2,000, give or take a few hundred. At over half of those casualties were just on Omaha Beach, and most of those occurred during the first few hours of D-Day. Hey, I mean, Omaha Beach, it was the hellish part to be in on D-Day. But, yeah. But, again, the important thing is, at the end of D-Day, yes, we didn't quite get as far inland as we were hoping, but just as importantly, we had casualty numbers that were far lower than what they were fearing. They were fearing that we would have that total Allied casualties would be something in approaching like at least 50,000. They were expecting a really, really awful bloody day. Hey, like something like the first day of the Somme during World War I, and to their great relief, it didn't end up that way. And of course, D-Day was just the beginning, as the sergeant said. It would take another 2.5 months of pretty vicious fighting before most of France was liberated. But pretty much the beginning of the end had begun for the Germans. We've successfully landed on the continent in a place where we can actually do some serious damage to them. So now we're properly in France. The Russians are coming from the east. Pretty much the Germans have less than a year left. And on that cheery note, I would have to say thank you all for coming tonight. I really appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. And I'll see you next time.